Good morning, one and all. I hope you are well and welcome to this morning's video. So, I have just the one pair on watch today, euro dollar. If we just load up euro pound ever so quickly, there we go. Euro pound. So, euro pound just sold off without giving me an entry, which has been pretty much the theme for the course of the last, I was going to say year and a half, which is pretty much true, but the last week or so, last couple of weeks. So, we had another. Well, you could have taken it as an entry, I guess, but we had this kind of 1, 2, 3 there. Retested the back end of that, but once again, just as with this candle here, when we had this structure, this closed at the end of the London session, which is not typically when this pair goes. So it seems that euro pound has started moving in different sessions, which is something new to me. But we had we had one of these big rejection candles here. This was a 1 hour structure, so therefore I would have only taken it on the 1 hour chart, but it closed down here, and we don't take on these kind of larger structures. I don't take, well, you just don't take risk entries within the structure. Okay. You could have taken a limit play. So you could have set your entry there halfway up the candle, but then that would have triggered you in at around 4:45 a.m., which is when the sessions which these currencies trade in, that's when they close. So once again, euro pound moving in different sessions to what it is historically always moved in, but that's what the market seems to be doing at the time at the moment. Some very strange stuff. So I'm just going to leave this now. It's not giving me the entries that I was forecasting and that would have been lower risk. So we move on. So euro pound, what it might be doing, just to touch on it, is when you get these kind of near misses and it moves in strange sessions and you get these very large candles like that, what we might be doing, I was thinking this before the video, we may be getting just something deeper like that, where we get something like that. Okay, and you get the 1, 2, 3, especially because this is kind of a bit of a volatility wick to some extent. And if we suggest that that's a volatility wick, then this high there narrowly missed the back end of that. Okay, so maybe that's what we're doing, especially when we're quite far down into this move and there's been a strange sequence overall anyway. So we shall see. We'll just let euro pound do its thing. And for some reason, whenever I start these videos, I always get lit up like a beacon by the strange lighting on these. But anyway, right, euro pound. So I'm not expecting what I'm forecasting today to actually happen. You might think, well, why are you looking for it then? Well, I'm not looking for shorts on this because we've already tapped into this last line in the sand and pushed up by way of a morning star formation, okay, from this area of value there. We've already pushed up. So anything to the downside is immediately higher in risk because price doesn't need to come all the way back down to here. Okay, so we're going kind of counter trend, as it were. So anything to the short side is lower risk. So even if I think that price is likely to move to the downside, which I do at this moment in time, I won't be looking for that because I'm only taking lower risk positions at the minute. So what, therefore, is my entry criteria for a long if I'm looking to get long? Well, as I just said, we just tapped into that area there, and we moved to the upside by way of this morning star formation. Okay, and then we had this structure, this 1, 2, 3, which I was looking for the retest at the back end of this. Okay, to then move to the upside. Okay, at the moment it appears to have failed. Why does it appear to have failed? Well, because usually we wouldn't usually consolidate. We wouldn't usually consolidate for this long underneath here if we were going to move to the upside. Okay, and if we just analyze this on the fly, you can see that we've kind of, where is it? Okay, my tools have been moved for some reason. So we've kind of retested the back end of that here. Okay, so this isn't necessarily relevant anymore. Okay, so then if we just zoom back out to the 1 hour, that means that this might be the new high. Okay, the new area of value. And if you look at this, you can see that we can see, if we just zoom out, yeah, so I can see the structure of this on the 1 hour chart. So this therefore makes this a 1 hour structure. And we have the gaps that we normally see to the high, then we tap into it. So technically, if you were going to get short, this is technically your rejection candle there, okay? And what this might be is, at the moment, is it might just be price pulling back 50% of this move. Let's try that again. 50% of this move, okay, which we've pretty much tapped now before it goes, okay, especially as it's kind of what price is doing now seems to be the retest to the back end of that. So if you're already in on this for the shorts, I wouldn't be surprised if this plays out now. But what to me puts the long back in play, because we do have to remember we have a high there as well. So technically price could still come up, and form something like that, where we get that and tap into that. And technically the short would still be in play in below here, below this area of inflection there. So what invalidates all of this and what puts the higher time frame direction back in play, in my opinion and experience, is if we break above this area of interest and we flag afterwards. So I'll be looking for that again. As I say, I think this is even less likely than it was yesterday, but that's what I'm going to be looking for, because you have to remember, by that point, imagine what this will look like. We will be back. This will be a failed, if that was to happen, we'd end up with a failed evening star formation, which could happen because the higher time frames hold more weight. On the weekly, we have a confirmed morning star, okay, and on the daily, a confirmed evening star. Okay, so the higher time frame holds more weight. So it's not inconceivable that we break above here and then think what that would do. Typically, these failed structures. So when we get a failed bear structure, the bull entries on the flip side tend to be very aggressive immediately afterwards. So if that was to happen, we would be back above all of these highs. Okay, we will be back above all of these highs, and then that would likely give price the momentum to move to the upside to take out these highs. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for. And then just getting a bit blinded by these spotlights, can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So if we got that, then I'll be able to manage it to this high here for something in the region of 4%. Even to there, we've got 1.5. And then, as I illustrated or pointed out yesterday, my target would be there. And what I would do is I would measure from here, because that would be the start of the move, to there. And then I would set the take profit there for something in the region of 8 to 9%. But we shall see. We shall see what price happens. As I say, I'm not expecting this. I am expecting price to move to the downside. But the market doesn't care what we expect, okay? All we have to know is what we're looking for, what we're not looking for, what we're not looking to get involved in, what we are. And that is it. But that is my video today, just a shorter one. And I will see you again in the next one. Thank you very much indeed for watching.